Chapter 11. Alan, Lex, and Tim trudged down the last hill before the visitor center. They were exhausted, and there, right in front of them, was an incredibly high fence. It was the fence that protected the main compound. They were so close, but so tired. Tim and Lex collapsed on the ground. "Power's still out," Alan said, poking the fence with a stick. "It's a big climb, though. Think you can make it?" "Nope," said Tim. "Way too high," said Lex. The Tyrannosaurus roared in the distance. Tim and Lex leaped to their feet, ready to climb. To get to the maintenance shed, Ellie and Muldoon had to cross the compound. That meant skirting the jungle and walking past the raptor pen. They stepped onto the path. "Keep moving," Muldoon whispered as they approached the pen. Ellie kept walking, but as she drew close to the raptor pen, her heart beat faster. She looked at the fence that surrounded it. "Oh, God," she said. There was a hole in the fence, a hole large enough for an animal to slip through, and Ellie knew what that meant. The raptors were out. Then Ellie saw the shed. "We can make it if we run," she said. "No, we can't. We're being hunted." Muldoon nodded toward the jungle. Ellie saw the shadow of an animal creeping through the palm trees. It was a raptor. "Run to the shed," Muldoon ordered, raising his rifle. "I'll take care of it." Ellie hopped over branches. She sprinted across open spaces. She didn't look back. At last she was there. She threw open the door and slammed it shut behind her. "I'm in," Ellie said, speaking into the walkie-talkie. "Okay," Mr. Hammond answered. He and Ian began to direct her, down a metal staircase and through a passageway until she reached a big metal box. Ellie found it. Then, listening to Mr. Hammond, she opened the door. Inside was a handle. Ellie pumped it. Next, she pressed a series of buttons. "The buttons turn on the park systems," Mr. Hammond was saying. "Activate them all." The last one was marked compound fence. Alan climbed the fence faster than the kids. He was already on the ground when he saw the warning light flash on a fence post. The power was about to go on, and Lex and Tim were at the top. "Get off the fence," Alan shouted. "Now!" Quickly, Lex scrambled down, but Tim froze with fear. He was too terrified to climb. The light flashed quicker and quicker. "Let go, Tim!" Alan cried. Suddenly, there was a loud buzz. The fence hummed as current ran through it. It was electrified. Tim shook violently. Then he was thrown to the ground. Alan and Lex raced over. Tim's face was white. His hands were burned a bright red. But worst of all, he wasn't breathing. "Oh no, he's dead, he's dead!" Lex cried out. Alan ripped Tim's shirt open. He pressed down on his chest, performing CPR. "Come on, Timmy," he said. Again and again he pressed. Then he breathed into Tim's mouth. "Ah!" Tim gasped as he came to. "Timmy!" Lex shouted happily. He was still in a daze, but he was going to be all right. Alan carefully wrapped Tim's hands with pieces of his shirt. Then he and Lex helped Tim over to the visitor center. Lights flickered on in the maintenance shed, and Ellie blinked in the sudden brightness. Then she saw the raptor. It was behind the circuit box. For a second, it just looked at her. Then it slashed out. Ellie stepped back just in time, but now something was brushing her shoulder. It was an arm, Ray Arnold's arm. He was dead, stuck behind a tangle of pipes. Ellie didn't stay for a closer look. The raptor was about to spring. She took off, running down the passageway, but the raptor was close behind. She could hear its sharp claws clicking against the floor. It drew closer and closer. When Ellie reached the door, she was just one step ahead of the raptor. Flinging the door open, she spun around and slammed it shut. Ellie took a deep breath. She was outside. Better yet, the raptor was inside, trapped. Muldoon stole quietly through the jungle. You could barely see the gray-colored raptor through the leaves, but the raptor was moving deeper into the jungle. So was Muldoon. Suddenly, the raptor stopped. It rose to its full height. "Gotcha," said Muldoon, about to pull the trigger. Then he paused. The raptor was the perfect target. Too perfect. Was this a setup? Those were Muldoon's last thoughts. Another raptor pounced him from behind.